Yo, this is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, heavyweight champion of the world, and you're watching Real Fans, Real Talk.
Face facts, what up, what up?
Real fans, realtalk.com. Where Arthur Diamonds, Trick Young, and intern Tom. For the white and black fans, Asia to Manhattan. I get all my facts from my bro, Mark the Stats Man. If you're not tuned in, I recommend the CAT scan. And if your brain checks out, then you deserve a backhand. Sports, gossip, all the hot topics. Real fans, realtalk.com got it. They got the hottest bloggers.
Is Jeremy Lin hurt?
Well, log onto the site and you can hear it from them first. I'm talking about the latest. I'm talking about the greatest. Go check out the archives. Even tell a neighbor. Tell him Bobby sent ya. From spring to winter, tuning in should be the only thing on your agenda. Certified cosign, you know what I'm about, son. Real fans, realtalk.com. I'm out one. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, realtalk.com.
What's going on? Welcome to another live episode of Real Fans, Real Talk. Oh, man. It's been a good week, man. NBA playoffs are in full effect. Couple of teams went home. Couple of teams even up their series. Couple of teams been whining this whole time.
There's a lot of crying going on.
A lot of crying.
A lot of crying going on, man.
Yeah, but there's no crying in basketball. There's definitely no crying in boxing because we got one of the biggest fights coming up. I'm really looking forward to this fight because actually it's a friend of the show is going to be fighting this Saturday. But before we jump into that, Legend in 2 Games, what's up, man?
It's Thursday night. I always get excited for Thursday night. We got the playoff basketball in the background. Fight coming up. Some tweets we need to talk about. Right?
Twitter fingers been active again?
Oh, Twitter fingers. You know, he's very active whenever he's not getting his way or whenever he gets pouty and wants attention.
Yeah, I can't call it on that one. But man, we're just gonna jump right into this NBA playoffs. I think we should start with the Cryberry Baby series because I think Houston felt like they should have been getting a lot more calls in Game 1. Game 2 didn't work out any much better for them. They are officially down 0-2, and James Harden may or may not be able to see come Game 3 because he took a little bit of a shot from Draymond Green across the face. He got a little rake of the eyes.
Right. So, you know, he's probably going to play. I would doubt that he's going to sit out, especially since they're going to get 2 days of rest.
Yeah.
So he'll play on tomorrow night. But the series is just... You know, a lot of whining, a lot of crying. Like, Houston complains about everything, man.
Yeah.
I've never seen a team commit so hard to just shooting contested threes and then get mad when they don't get the call.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, with the kicking of the legs and all of that, like I said, honestly, I said in Game 1, the 2 first half fouls, Klay Thompson, I thought they were fouls on James Harden. He definitely slid underneath him, but the shot at the end of the game where the game was actually winnable for both teams at that point, where he gets the non-call on Draymond Green, I didn't think that was a foul. So, and, they go back and forth, the whole crying, oh, we need the calls to be even. We go through this so many times where you should know by now, you do not put the game in the hands of the referees. Don't let them be able to blow it for you. If you guys are playing better than what you would have, first of all, they have not got anything from Clint Capella this entire series. He's basically
to the point he's been on the bench any critical moment.
Yeah, he's like he can't do anything right now. So you don't have your starting center who's been the anchor for your defense all season long. He can't even come on the court because it's just no matchups that favor him.
Right.
So he has to sit out. PJ Tucker had a bad game in game 1. I mean, it's not like these guys are shooting at a great percentage, So they go into Game 2. Game 2, the same end result. I think the series is over. I mean, I'll be surprised at this point if they don't get swept.
I mean, first of all, like for James Harden to come out after Game 1 and say, "I just want a fair shot." You took 14 free throws. Yeah. Like, the refs were blowing the whistle. There's a guy who continuously leads the league in free throw attempts. Yeah. So he gets the whistles. But you're not going to get him every time you decide to kick your leg out and try to force the foul. Yeah. Or every time you hook the defender on your drive to the basket, hoping to draw the contact.
And you can't just kick your legs out farther and farther.
Right. You just,
get that call.
And I'm glad the officials have stood their ground and said, no, we're going to call the fouls as they are. We're not going to call these exaggerated leg kicks and all this flopping of throwing the arms around in the air just looking for a call. I think it's a little disgusting. And you know what? They had a shot at the end of Game 1, and he decides to kick his legs out to try to get the call.
Yeah.
Then they were down 4 in game 2, and Chris Paul gets a wide open 3 that he misses. So for all the complaining, you had 2 opportunities to either tie or come within a score 1 point in the closing moments of the games, and you didn't execute.
Yeah.
So don't blame the refs. That's your fault. You got to execute better. And it would be nice if Mike D'Antoni actually drew up some plays. Because, I mean, I'm tired of seeing him run around with 5 guards on the court, just looking to pick and roll and hoping that you switch on everything.
I mean, I've never looked at, D'Antoni as this great coach of mine anyway. I mean, he's a great offensive coach. He can, he can help guys get the numbers up. He can help guys get to MVPs, but MVPs don't necessarily translate into championships. And we've seen the struggles that he's had in Houston, in New York, going back to the Phoenix days. I mean, you got, Steve Nash back-to-back MVPs,
Right.
but they couldn't get to the finals. Because that style of play does not work the deeper you get into the playoffs. It's one thing during the regular season where you're playing everybody. The board is spread out. But once you lock down to those top 8 teams in your conference, and then again once you get into the finals, you playing the best of the best.
Right.
If it don't work, it don't work. And they haven't been able to change anything up. So, like I said, I would really be surprised if they don't get swept in this series. I'm sorry. I'm not even giving Houston a chance.
I think they'll get 1. I expect them to win Game 3, just off the pride and understanding that if they lose Game 3, the series is definitely over.
Yeah.
So I think they'll win Game 3, but then I don't think they win anything after that. I think the series is done. Everything they've tried, Golden State has really locked them down. All the pick and roll and all the switching hasn't worked. Utah got really criticized in the first-round matchup against Houston for playing defense the way they did on Harden, basically playing behind him and forcing him to drive. Golden State's actually doing the same thing. The difference is that when he gets to the basket, the big difference is against Utah, when he would drive, they would collapse and he would get the easy lobs to Capella.
Yeah.
Now he's not getting the lobs, so now all those floaters are just bouncing off the rim.
Yep.
Golden State's getting the rebound, pushing the ball up the court, and they're not getting an opportunity to take advantage of what they did against Utah.
Yeah.
That's really what it's come down to.
I mean, I'm really hoping. I mean, because I think Giannis should be the MVP.
Yeah.
But I hope they don't. Because I mean, James Harden was putting up a lot of points this season. I hope they don't just give him that award. But I mean, you see what's happening. Like, once again, we come in later into the rounds, and he has not been able to really adjust. I mean, the Warriors, granted, it's the Warriors.
Right.
But, I mean, this is a team where myself and a lot of other people last year felt like they would have beat Golden State in that series had Chris Paul not gone down when he did, And
that's big, too, because I think they were like, I wasn't of that school of thought. I really thought the Warriors were the better team in the series. I understand they were down 3-2, but Houston's style of play it really is hit or miss. And when we saw them miss 20-plus three-pointers at the end of Game 3, and they missed the first 8 to start Game 1, like, you cannot consistently win that way when all you're relying on is the three-point shot. Because as you saw in Game 1, they were down double-digit points early in that game. Yeah. Because they're just relying on the three-point shot.
Yeah.
It's not a style that's sustainable and that you can win with long-term. It works in the regular season.
There's realistically, outside of Eric Gordon, the rest of those guys, they're not really scorers like that. None of those guys can really create their own shots.
Right. Nobody can create their own shot, aside from the big 2.
And there's not really any great three-point shooters to where, you could have like the LeBron kind of setup where he can kick it to the open shooters. Because, outside of Eric Gordon, he's probably their best shooter, other than James Harden. But the rest of those guys, they're not great three-point shooters. They can hit them, sometimes if they're wide open, but they're not really great shooters. So it's, they're going to have trouble with a team at the end of the day that still has the best player in basketball right now. LeBron's not here. You got Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Even with a dislocated finger, he still threw the shot up from beyond the half-court line. It didn't count.
Yeah, they're done. No,
still the series is pretty much over.
There's no adjustment they can make that's going to put them in position to win 4 out of the next 5 games. Because the only way they can move on now is by winning 4 out of the next 5 games. Yeah. And they're not winning 4 out of the next 5.
I don't think. And especially, I don't know. They said Harden is okay, but you can't really mess with that site vision.
Is Capella okay?
I don't know what's going on with Capella.
Is Chris Paul okay? I don't know.
I'm just happy that Chris Paul is healthy and he's still on the court.
Probably been better if he was injured.
Then they'd had an excuse. They would have
to build an excuse. Austin Rivers actually I thought played better than Chris Paul in Game 2. Austin Rivers gave him a big boost in Game 2 when Harden went out.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, they're down 0-2. Like I said, I don't see them coming back from that. I know you don't. But the second Western Conference matchup it's in full effect. Portland and Denver. Portland managed to even up the series with a really good win last night, despite not having the best game or the best of games from Damian Lillard. But my guy Enes Kanter, man, he's
playing huge minutes for them.
man. Like I'm so happy for him because this is a guy I used to put on my team in 2K back when he was with OKC. You know what I'm saying? I always thought, yo, man, I'm telling you, he's nice. Telling my peoples when he came to New York, like, yo, he's really good. You give him some time, some solid minutes. He's gonna get you, a nice double, and he's been playing very well for Portland. They're missing Nurkic right now, and he's definitely picked up the slack. We saw it in the first round, and now going into the second round, taking that. It's a big win on the road for them. Denver's been playing great basketball. I didn't think Denver was going to make it out the first round of the playoffs, but they've actually been playing some good team basketball. But again, the series is tied 1-1. Where do you have the series going?
I still like Denver in this series. I said from the beginning I thought it was going to go 7. I still think it's going to go 7. I thought the biggest deterrent to Portland was that they had to take that week off. They were really rolling after they beat Oklahoma City. They could have jumped into that next series.
After that 3 over Paul Pierce.
Well, that bad shot. According to Paul George, it was a bad shot.
Well, you know.
But they were rolling. And that would have been the perfect time to just jump into the next series. But they had to wait a week. Meanwhile, like you mentioned, Denver had a tough 7-game series, but they came in with momentum, and we saw it in game 1. And the Joker is the truth, man.
Yeah.
The things he's doing, the triple doubles, the 40-point game in the playoffs.
7-footer.
Yeah, 7-footer, controlling the ball.
Passing.
Yesterday, I thought they got a little too happy shooting 3-pointers, and it kind of took them out the game, and they had to really stage a late comeback to get back in it.
Yeah.
But I still like Denver. They have home court advantage in this series. If they find a way to split in Portland and come back for game 5, I expect them to win. I think the first round series was a great learning experience for them because they played a veteran team with probably the best head coach out there. And they found a way to overcome that. So I think they'll beat Portland. But I think it's going 7.
If Nurkic was playing, if he didn't get hurt, do you still have Denver winning the series?
No, I probably would have gone Portland.
Right, yeah. I think, especially with the way Kanter is playing, that 1-2 punch right there, and then you got the 1-2 punch of CJ and Dame.
And it would have been personal for Nurkic because he was with Denver before they traded in Portland.
Yep. He wants some get back. He had to get some get back.
I probably would have gone Portland with the backcourt and with Nurkic there.
Yeah. Well, listen, we got to wait and see. The series does continue in the Eastern Conference. My MVP, Giannis, he finally had his little breakthrough on the Brad Stevens lockdown defense. He finally figured it out. It took him a little while in game 2 to really figure it out because he was still dribbling up and running into the double and triple team and passing the ball a little bit too late in the first half of that game, but he got it together. Chris Middleton played an amazing game. Eric Bledsoe finally showed up. Brook Lopez had a good game for them. Man, if they can get Malcolm Brogdon back at some point during this series, they are going to be a force to reckon with. I picked them to come out of this series. I'm still picking them to come out of this series. I think that now that Giannis kind of has things figured out, it's gonna be rough going into Boston in Game 3. But I'm picking them to win Game 3 and then lose Game 4 in Boston.
Okay.
But I think they're gonna come out with that same momentum from Game 2, and the thing with Boston is these guys. Al Horford played amazing. He's been amazing throughout this entire playoffs. But Kyrie had a bad game, and nobody else stepped up,
right?
Or to pick up the offensive slack. I know, Gordon Hayward. He's still not
100%
back to Utah. Gordon Hayward. Tatum, he's still learning. He's young. He had a great playoffs last year, but things were a little bit different. He was getting the most of the minutes.
He was getting the touches. Yeah,
he was getting the touches, so he could do what he wanted. But now, when you got to take a back seat to the number one guy on the team, which is in Kyrie, it kind of hurt him a little bit. Jaylen Brown is playing solid defense, but he's not carrying that load on the offensive end either. And then again, Terry Rozier, he's all right coming off the bench, but
Yeah,
I don't think they have. I don't think they have enough. If they can get those guys, if Eric Bledsoe and Brook Lopez can put up the numbers that they put up, which is feasible by them, because I think Brook had 13 points, I think something like that. 12
Brook played big minutes.
If he and what I liked about what Brook did was he finally started hitting the three again. He hit 3 threes in that game. So what happens is when you got to bring Al Horford out a little bit more, that kind of stops him from clogging up the paint and just waiting for Giannis to come through, because he was swatting everything that Giannis had. But now you got to be honest and step out.
Right. So game 2 is the reason why I agree with you. I said Milwaukee in 6.
Yeah.
Possibly 7, but I really like 6. I thought Brad Stevens was going to put together the game plan to try to slow him down, which he did in game 1. This wall that we keep hearing about them build.
Mm-hmm.
But then game 2 was a perfect example of new head coach with Budenholzer, right? And guys,
really good coach, by the way.
Right. Did his thing in Atlanta before going to Milwaukee. But then also guys, because this team saw it last year, Milwaukee lost to Boston last year, and they saw what Boston did. Mm-hmm. They made the right adjustments. So, one, Chris Middleton got hot. Right?
Yeah.
And we talked about before the playoffs. At some point, Boston was going to miss Marcus Smart, and this is the series that they're going to miss Marcus Smart, because Smart would have been able to play defense on Middleton one-on-one without any help.
Yep.
They don't have that guy, right? Secondly, he kept the shooters out on the floor now, right? Mirotic, Lopez, Bledsoe, Middleton. Everyone's standing on the three-point line. So now you can't just build that wall in the middle of the paint now.
Yeah.
You've got to respect the shooters.
Yep.
Right?
And don't let Malcolm Brogdon come back. If he come back, that's 50, 40, 90 right there.
We don't know if he is going to be able to come back, but still, the game plan and the adjustments that were made now show you why Milwaukee has made this leap from last year to this year.
Yeah.
Right? We talk a lot again. The other point that you mentioned, which is why I think Boston is really going to struggle the rest of the series, is they have no one else who can create his own shot.
Yeah.
So it's Kyrie or bust. So when Kyrie's hot like he was in game 1 and he's creating and doing all his moves, the team looks great, because now you get the cutters, you get the fast breaks, and then when push comes to shove and it's down to 6 seconds on the shot clock, you give it to Kyrie and bail us out. But when he can't get it going, there's no one else on the offense that can really create for you.
It's gonna be
right.
It's gonna be they're gonna have a rough time. And now that Giannis has kind of cracked the code a little bit,
right.
What's the adjustment? And I love Brad Stevens. I think he is a great coach in mind. But what can he do now to contain Giannis?
So I think the biggest adjustment they're gonna have to make is they're gonna have to pick which supporting cast member they're willing to let beat them.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
They're gonna have to pick the guy and say, look, if you're gonna spread us out and have 4 shooters around Giannis and force us to guard the 3-point line, we're gonna cheat off one of these guys.
Yeah.
So whether you think Bledsoe's the weakest shooter or you're gonna let Lopez shoot, Mirotic, obviously it's not gonna be Middleton, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Pat Connaughton when he comes off the bench.
Yeah.
You're going to have to
Who's
find
knocking him down.
Right. Again. So you're going to have to find the guy that you're going to say, we're willing to let him beat us so that Giannis can't get in the paint. Because there's no way you're going to beat Milwaukee both ways. Yeah. If Giannis is getting in the paint and getting 25, 28, 30 points and the shooters are hitting, you're not beating them.
Yeah.
So you've got to say, we're willing to take Giannis away, make everything difficult for him, make everything a struggle for him, but we're going to let Pat Connaughton shoot those 6 threes from the corner.
Yeah.
We're going to let Bledsoe shoot that from the top of the key.
And it's just up to them whether or not they can knock him down.
If they hit him, they hit him. And if they don't, then you move on and you look like a genius.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to have to be the game plan.
Well, we got to wait and see. Again, I'm taking Milwaukee to win game 3. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see, because I really want to see now what Brad Stevens does. I'm waiting to see. But we do have a game coming on tonight.
Right. It's just starting. Actually, I just took a peek over there.
Yep.
Philly and Toronto's on right now.
Shout out to the budget, man. They upped the budget. They got the 85-inch monitor for us in the studio. Yo, Cliff, man, you've been doing your thing lately, man.
Things are changing around here, man. You know what I'm saying? Things is different.
I'm loving it right now. I love it. Shout out to the whole crew, man. We can't do none of this without y'all. We definitely appreciate y'all. But yeah, man, Toronto, Philly. I'm taking Toronto in the series. I think we're gonna start seeing Kawhi back to San Antonio Kawhi, where he was arguably second, third best player in basketball.
Right. Or matter of preference, who you like more, right?
Yeah, but I think that they're going to get back to that. They have a very deep team. And I just, I really love the addition of Marc Gasol. Like, for the playoffs. Regular season, whatever. He's not running up and down the court like he used to. But in the playoffs, I think that Marc Gasol is a huge asset for them, especially, because you still got the inconsistencies of Kyle Lowry. You don't know what you're going to get from him from one game to the next. But Kawhi Leonard and Siakam, they have been playing lights out the entire playoffs. They've been carrying this team and kind of been negating the fact that Kyle Lowry shows up when he
really struggled.
Wants to show up. I think he might have had one good game in the playoffs, and then the other games were either mediocre or bad.
Yeah, I don't really know where he even falls now in the pecking order there, because there was a time where obviously when it was him and DeRozan, and when the trade was first made, it was viewed almost like, Kyle Lowry will play a nice second fiddle to Kawhi. He's not second fiddle anymore, and I don't even know if he's third fiddle anymore. I think what Ibaka has done has been more important for them. I think what Danny Green has done has been more important for them. Obviously, Gasol, even though he's not the offensive player he once was, he has a huge impact on defense in this series to be able to slow down Embiid. Lowry is he better than Van Fleet?
Well, Van Fleet is definitely a better shooter than him.
I think you can make the strong case that Van Fleet is probably more important to their overall success than Lowry.
When I saw they made the trade for Gasol, when they sent Valanciunas to Memphis, I was hoping that they would have sent Kyle Lowry there too and took Mike Conley. I thought that would have been crazy to have Mike Conley come over in the playoffs. He's somebody that plays in the playoffs. To have him come over and run with that team, it's a team full of no egos.
Right.
So they can pretty much write their own ticket. And you see what's going on. I think they're gonna win tonight on the road and take control, take home court advantage back from Philadelphia. And then I think they move on. I think they go on to the Eastern Conference Finals and they face Milwaukee. I'm still not.
So I got them winning this series. I've got Philly winning tonight. Philly, remember they closed out their series in Brooklyn in the first round. Then they played the 2 in Toronto. So this is their first home game in a little while. Yeah. So I think that the crowd was going to be a little energized. The crowd was going to be a little energized, happy, and then obviously 1-1. With the chance to take control. I think they win tonight. But I do like Toronto in this series. I like Toronto a lot. I'm not going to go any further than just saying they're going to win. We'll wait till we get to that point. I like Toronto to win in this series.
Yeah, like I said, I think Kawhi is his time right now. I think Kawhi is going to run the East, man, and I think it's going to be a good matchup when they play Milwaukee. I think that's going to be a great series because I don't know what we're going to get as far as the Western Conference Finals go, because I just think Golden State...
we're going to get.
We're
getting Golden State against the winner of the other side.
Yeah, it's going to be tragic for whoever Golden State plays, but you're going to have two really good teams going head up in the Eastern Conference Finals, and that's going to really be the finals, because that's going to be the clash of the Titans, and then we'll see how things go, whichever one of those teams can make it to the
listen,
finals.
we just got to enjoy it, man. It's been a long time since there was this much balance. For the last 4 years, we pretty much, last 3 years, Golden State, after they won that first time, we kind of knew who was coming out the West. And then we knew for a while who was coming out the East. It was just a matter of who LeBron was going to play on his way to the finals.
Yeah, exactly.
So to have this type of balance where in the East we're looking at 4 pretty good teams battling it out, and then you look at the West, it's Golden State, but then you got the young team in Denver and Portland, who's exciting to watch. It's really good basketball, man. Every night you're turning it on and you're watching a good team with a good young star on it.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. What I'm not looking forward to is talking about my young boy D'Angelo Russell right now. Got caught out there, man. Listen, I keep telling y'all, man. You first of all, why would you try to sneak some Mary Jane in the Arizona bottle and try to fake it like you was just drinking iced tea? Come on, man.
Listen, man. I hope what I'm about to say doesn't ruin potential sponsors. All right, but if you're D'Angelo Russell. And you're about, free agency starts July 1st. So you're about 2.5 months away from signing a potential max contract to stay in Brooklyn. Where's the dude in your crew that's supposed to take this charge, man? Where's the dude in your crew that's supposed to say, man, put that in my bag? That way, if everything falls apart, it's me. It's not the lottery ticket. It's me.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm so disappointed in him. Coming out of L.A., the whole Swaggy P situation, when dropping the dime and doing that, I gave him a pass. I said, I'm going to let you slide. You coming to Brooklyn, you turn it around, you do your thing out here, I'm going to let you rock. He did just that. he got the Nets to the playoffs. Nobody thought the Nets was going to make it to the playoffs, and they
Not
finished.
this quick.
They finished pretty good.
Not this quick.
They finished pretty good,
and they were respectable in the playoffs.
Yeah,
too.
All-Star. He made the All-Star for the first time, and his youngest, come out his third year. Going into his fourth year, you made the All-Star team. This is it. This is your moment. You go get that max check, and then you do this a couple of weeks before.
Yeah.
You got the at least. If this would have happened right after you signed that contract, I'd have been like, you know what? He got that bread.
Right.
He got the big bag. He was celebrating. I can't even be mad at him. But come on, you got to do better than this, man.
Yeah, listen, man. You can't. First of all, we all know that athletes have a very small window to really cash in on their talents.
Yeah.
You cannot do anything that can affect you getting to that bag, man.
Yeah.
You can't.
Right now, you were right at the finish line, bro.
You cannot do anything that's going to affect you getting to that bag.
You're right. He does. He's young, and he needs better people in his corner.
Listen. Tripp and I you could have threw it in my book bag, man.
Honestly, I'd have held him down. Just make sure my court size seats is available.
Right. Hold it down. Just make sure that wire transfer goes through.
Because the charges hit different now. They done
They
cleaned up the laws a little bit. So you'd have been wasn't gonna be doing nothing crazy.
Right. I would have finessed out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we gotta listen. You gotta do what D-Rock did for Big, man. You gotta take that.
Right. Right. It's Brooklyn.
You gotta hold it down. He don't know. He not from Brooklyn. So
that's what it is.
He don't know no better. His crew ain't from Brooklyn, so they don't know no better. And now you get caught out there, and I don't know, man. Hopefully, I hope he still gets that check, because I'm all for the brothers getting their bread. But you might have cost yourself a couple millions with this one.
I think he did. I think the Nets
because of your past too, because it's gonna add on.
Right. I think the Nets had every intention on giving him the max.
Yeah.
And
now
I think
they got no reason not to.
Right. Now this is gonna knock $2 to $4 million off every year just off this, because now we got to watch it.
Yep. You gotta be extra supervised. It's crazy. Like I said, I hope he gets it together. I hope he gets some better people in his corner. I mean, come on, bro. I know it's the off. You got eliminated from the playoffs. It's the off season, all right, but do that in the privacy of your home,
right?
Or when you get to where you going, then you get that. You don't travel. You don't bring that with you. There's no reason for you to be carrying that. No reason for you at all for you to be traveling with weed in your bags or in your Arizona container, wherever you want it. You keep it in your house, or if you got to do it whenever you get to where you going. You get that there, man. You don't travel with it. You don't give nobody a reason to mess up your bread. You mess up your own bread. You did it to yourself. So basically, you lose money, you got nobody else to blame but yourself. But you ain't the only one. You young and dumb still, and you ain't the only one. Because we just, the word around the campfire is DeAndre Ayton was taking $10,000 a month during his time in college.
Listen, man. Listen, these NCAA stories, I don't even know if we shouldn't be mad anymore.
No, I'm not mad.
I really don't even know how we should respond to them anymore.
Because he's in the league now, so I didn't say nothing.
Right. I mean, listen, if y'all was paying him $10K a month for you guys not even to make the Final Four, I mean, you got robbed, basically.
Yeah, I'm sure. He got the number one pick in the draft. He had a pretty good season.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So he took the $10K for the 4 months he was there.
Yeah,
made a quick 40.
You know what? I ain't even mad at him.
Signed with Puma.
Got a nice little deal out of them. Yeah. And
it's all good.
Rocking and rolling. I'm not, listen.
No, but I just want to say this on the NCAA tip. Like, at some point, I'm hoping, we see the things, no matter how you might feel about LeBron James, and we've talked about this so many times on the show, and I know I get at him about his play sometimes on the court. You can never question LeBron as what he's done off the court, right?
Oh, no, it's a fact.
And I hope, it may not be LeBron, maybe it might be the next wave, but I hope at some point some of these guys get together and say, you know what? Forget the NCAA. Let's create our own league in our own way and our own path. I mean, I would hope.
The NBA is trying to, with the new pay scale in the G League, but yeah, man, they got to figure it out, because I don't think the NCAA is going to be trying to pay these kids anytime soon.
It's not just that. I hate the fact DeAndre Ayton's name becomes the big story here, right? Meanwhile, the head coach Sean Miller was basically given a leave last year when the story first broke.
Yeah,
he missed a week and a half, paid leave, got to come back, coach the team, makes all these wild, denial claims. This is a lie. Everyone's lying on him. Now there's proof that comes out, but you're still the head coach.
Yeah.
And we continue to see this, whether it's paying the players or, in Louisville's case, you taking underage kids to strip clubs and getting women to come, trying to finesse them to come to Louisville. Like, at some point, we got to say, yo, look, the NCAA is corrupt all the way around. Yeah. Let's find a better way and a better situation for these kids, man. Because at the end of the day, it's these young men who their lives are the ones who's really being tarnished by it. Yeah. Their names get brought up in it. Look at Reggie Bush. He could never go back to USC.
Yeah.
After everything he did for the school, he can't go back, though.
It's over, yeah. You know, it's rough. And like you said, there's something has to be done. But
gotta make changes, man.
Where do you start? That's the thing. Where do you start? Because the college system is so big.
I hate to bring this guy up because we were just clowning him the other week, but LeVar might have been on to something with the Big Baller Brand League.
Yeah,
LeVar might have been on to something. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I threw up LeBron's name. I hope that at some point the guys say, "Look, man, let's put up our own money. We got the connects already. Yeah, we can get the sponsors.
Well, you can do it.
Right. Let's put together our own little showcase." And, you know, we ain't got to pay the guys nothing crazy, but let's pay them a little something. Let them showcase and basically get prepared for that next step, as opposed to going to a school that cares nothing about you.
Yeah.
That's dangling this whole, you're getting a free education. They don't care if you go to class.
Yeah.
Most of the scandals start right there because the guy was taking cupcake classes and wasn't going anywhere.
Yep. And that's the thing, you know, a lot of times, like, you know, the players get the worst of it.
Right.
They get the worst rap. But you know, these coaches know what's going on. The schools know what's going on. And it sucks for the players because you get nothing. I mean, hopefully, you know, you don't get in trouble and something happens to you while you're at the school. Because a lot of times we see these things come out after, you know, they make it to the league where the stuff comes. Somebody, you know, oh, now all of a sudden I got this recorded. Now all of a sudden I got this. They're in the league. They probably was trying to get a check out of them and couldn't get it. So they like, oh, word, okay, I got this evidence.
Yeah.
Let me. Now I'm gonna blow your spot up to the world. You know, but I mean, this is stuff that happens. I know. We and shout out to former Lakers guard Smush Parker. He's actually gonna be joining us in the studio next Thursday. But you know, we were at This Is 50 the other day, and he was just talking about how, you know, when he played up at Fordham, he was like, man, shoot, I wish I would have got something. There was guys up there, they didn't even make the league, and they was getting checks. You know, so it's definitely stuff that's been going on, and it's not just the players taking money, and you know, realistically, I mean, when you got guys, you know, coming from, you know, low income neighborhoods and cities and towns, and they come from nothing, and and they have this kind of a special talent, you know. Yeah, you know, somebody might slip up. Nobody's perfect. They might slip up inside, you know.
But I hate the fact that the player ends up the one who gets tarnished in the situation. That's what I hate about it. Like, Sean Miller, whatever happens in Arizona, he'll get another job.
Yeah.
Right? DeAndre Ayton, when it's all said and done, like, his connection to the university will be erased, you know, and then he always gets labeled as the guy who took money in college.
Yeah.
You know, Reggie Bush losing the Heisman and the accolades. You know, granted, Reggie Bush ain't hurting financially, but I'm just saying, like, you're taking things away from the guy that he truly accomplished. Yeah. Nobody else was running the ball at USC.
Yeah, and like, so what happened, you know, when taking money, you know, like, I could understand if the kid got caught doing steroids or something like that. Then, you know what? Strip him. But that, you know, honestly, taking money has nothing to do with what he did on the field, what that individual did on the field. And like you said, you know, these things, I mean, like, especially, you know, going away to school and having, like, these guys get enshrined at the school. Like, they mean so much to the school. Right. So the fact that now you can't even go back to your alma mater, you know, it's kind of crazy.
Like, you think about all the things. There are kids to this day who go to USC because of what Reggie Bush did for that school.
Yeah.
So the school is still reaping the benefits of what he did.
Yes.
Right? But he can't go back.
Like we said, we were talking about it a couple weeks ago. Murray State, they got a couple of more guys to go because of what Ja Morant did.
Absolutely. The next 5 to 7 years, Murray State is going to recruit so well because of what Ja Morant has just done for that school.
I'm sure the year before that, I'm sure Washington got a couple of recruits based off of you know, this kid being the number one pick in the draft. Markelle Fultz being the number one pick in the draft. I'm sure.
So
Davidson, I'm sure they got a couple of more players because of Steph Curry.
Of course. So, you know, you sit there and you blame the kid, and his name becomes the headline, and he becomes the bad guy in all of this. But meanwhile, the coach moves on to another school and does the same thing. John Calipari has had sanctions at UMass, Memphis, and now he's the highest paid coach in college at Kentucky.
Yeah.
So everything
and one
he
of
did,
the most respected.
One of the most respected. Jim Boeheim was suspended, and Syracuse had to miss the tournament one year because of violations.
And he's still coaching.
Rick Pitino.
So Calipari had Derrick Rose and had the fake SAT test and all
right.
that too.
And what he did, he politicked that into a bigger job at Kentucky.
Yes. And now, like you said, is the highest paid
and the highest paid coach in the college game.
Listen, man, we got a whole lot to get to on the show, but we got a couple of events that's coming up soon. But the big event is going to be Ballin' for Peace. It's coming up June 1st. It's going down at St. Francis College, right up the block from the studio. So we've been running around with H2O, been running around with the Dunkers, myself and Legend in 2 Games.
Right.
So make sure you guys get those tickets to Ballin' for Peace. They are selling out. And we're gonna play this quick. We stopped by the Garden. H2O had a game, so we went over to the Garden, and we got a chance to chop it up with Smish Parker right on the courtside lines at Madison Square Garden. So we're gonna take a quick break, let y'all watch the Smish Parker interview, and when we come back, we got some football news that we gotta talk about. We gotta get to Twitter fingers.
Oh, absolutely, we gotta get to that.
Y'all let us know when y'all ready, man. Let's get it.
Can't let that slide.
Yeah, because your man been typing. He been typing again.
He always typing. He I don't know.
I ain't gonna say his name. Just wait till after we come back.
I don't think he does anything. He doesn't do anything more than he does tweeting.
He plays golf. But you know what? We're gonna jump into the Smish Parker interview real quick, and when we come back, we're gonna get to Twitter things. We're gonna address all of that.
It's your boy H2O, and on the Road to Peace tour, we stopped at Madison Square Garden. Today I had my championship game with the corporate league, New York Knicks corporate league, and I got MVP. Today I got my boy Smush Park out here, you know what I'm saying? Former NBA player, you know what I mean? New York City legend, you know what I mean? He came out here to support me in the game, and he will be playing the Ballin' for Peace this year.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So, what does peace mean to you, bro? Like, what is it? Is it something that has been instilled in you? I see that you do a lot more in the community now, and that's one of the reasons why I reached out to you to play in Ballin' for Peace.
No, honestly, peace to me is giving back. For me, hooping and being out there and competing, that was competitive.
Yeah.
That got my blood going. That got my warrior nature going.
Yes, sir.
But peace for me is being hands-on with the kids now, and the community's giving back, passing on some of the knowledge that, that was passed down to me. I'm passing it on to others.
That's a fact. So let the people know a little bit about your organization, what you've been doing for the last couple of years, and where you see yourself and your organization going in the future.
All right now I got a non-profit called Smush Inspires. I'm wearing my hat. There's the logo right here.
Yeah, I need a hat too, bro.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna look out.
Okay.
Smush Inspires, and what it is exactly what I said, giving back to the community, and not just the community, but the kids that are overlooked, the inner city youth who might not have the resources to make it to an NBA basketball camp or clinic, or a Steph Curry basketball shooting camp. I give free clinics. It's free to the youth, free to the kids. Free.
You know what I'm saying?
And all is invited. I've been working closely with the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Okay.
And for me, it's giving back, being able to give back to the kids, to kids who can't afford to go to these places. Like we've been talking, it's peaceful. I've accumulated a lot of knowledge. In the game of basketball, just being successful and making my dreams come true.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of these kids, they have dreams, but they don't know how to go about it. So I just try to inspire them to, to try to, with my story.
So you try to bridge that gap.
Yeah.
Between, reality and seeing somebody like yourself doing it and giving back.
Yes, sir.
They're more likely to give back. I get it. We talked about platforms, and we talked about people giving their platform and giving themselves to help others get to that next level. And you yourself, being an NBA player, a lot of people would listen to your voice. Some more than mine. You know what I mean? I didn't make it to the NBA, and I told you before, my message is you don't have to make it to the NBA to have an impact on people's lives, but if you do, that helps out a lot.
Yes,
so
sir.
how do you think the game of basketball kind of transitioned you into helping out? Like what kind of with sports and basketball tweak to where you want to give back? Like,
well, with the game of basketball, it's a team sport.
Yes.
No, a team.
Yeah.
Team sport, not an eye sport. It's not an individual sport. It's team. So over the years of playing basketball, I've built just camaraderie.
Yeah.
Being able to get along with your brothers, get along with your teammates. Being able to come together.
Yeah.
So for me now, I'm outside of my team. I'm not playing team professional basketball right now. I still have that team mentality. So right now, I still want to unite. I still want to give back. I still want to be a part. So that's what my free youth clinic does, is to teach that team concept.
So I feel like what I've been doing gives me the same joy and the same excitement or more when I'm giving back to the community, and I'm pushing the peace message. Like, I get up to go and to promote balling for peace. It brings me joy. Do you get that same feeling with what you're doing? Like, if you had to compare your NBA career and what you're doing now with your peace movement and giving back to the community with the kids, how do you compare? Where is
you can't really compare the two, because I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
My message wouldn't be heard if it wasn't for the NBA.
Yeah.
If like you said, people have certain kinds of impacts. Had I been, just a street ball street ball player, West 4th Street player, my impact, level would have been down here.
Yeah.
But because I made it to the NBA, it gives me a greater platform to reach more people. More people are likely to, listen to, my, message, because I actually made it to, someplace that they want to get to.
That's a fact.
I can't say one is greater than the next, but I will say giving back is always more pleasurable to me than receiving.
That's what's up. I've been going around, lately and saying the right cosign can change everything, and I believe that. And a brother like yourself, coming on board with Balling for Peace, and we got a lot more work to do in the future that we've been talking about. So a lot of big things are going to be coming between Smush Park and H2O moving forward. One hand wash the other. We're helping each other out to move to that next level. But somebody coming from, Brooklyn, right?
Yes, sir.
Brooklyn, New York, coming from New York City, and then and reaching the heights of the NBA, and then coming down, and back into our community. It could be a humbling experience, Do you miss the game? Like, do you miss the game of basketball? Like,
oh yeah, definitely. Like, I still have that fire in me, man. Like, I'm watching these games. I was watching you play, and I was just like, I ain't got a jersey, man. I was about to lace up. I was looking for sneakers to lace up, but I definitely have that fire in me to still play, man. I'm a young 37 years old, and that competition is still in me, and that's never gonna go away.
So what would it take to get you back on the court? Maybe not in the NBA, but I know that you did some things. They still got the big three. You could probably possibly do that. Is that something that you could you still be interested in?
Right now, my glory years is behind me. And not to say that I can't play. I play at a very high level right now.
We played in the summer together when you showed up. When you showed up to the game.
You gonna show me out right now? You gonna pull my car right here?
We actually had some good team wins and stuff. But this guy had me going out having to, go back to 10 years ago, H2O, and you know what I mean?
I can still play, but right now in my life, like I said, I find more pleasure in giving back.
Yeah.
I can play basketball, anywhere. This is New York City, it's the mecca of basketball. You go on any corner in New York City and go shoot some hoops. But I find more pleasure in, bringing up a youth. I see these kids out here who need a lot of direction.
That's a fact.
A lot of direction, and not just basketball. In life.
Yeah.
And that's another part of my message that I Smush Inspires. Is what I do is a lot of these young men. I'm gonna just single out these young men. They're growing up in single parent homes.
Yeah.
Without a father. Without positive male influence. So my Smush Inspires is not just basketball, but it's geared to like the big brother, father, kind of positive male influence in that aspect. But I find pleasure in, like I said, giving back to the community. These kids bringing up, the next generation.
Yeah.
What was once put imparted into me growing up as a child, I want to give back in the same way.
So where do you see Smush inspired in the next, say, everybody say 5, 10 years, next 2 years? Where do you see Smush inspired in the next 2 years?
You know what? I have no idea. I really don't. I don't do what I do for recognition.
Yeah.
I don't do it for any kind of, spotlight. I've been giving these free clinics and everything has been out of my own pocket. And although I'm looking for certain sponsors and donators, it hasn't happened yet. I don't do it for the money. I do it, because I have an affection for, these kids growing up in the community that don't have. Because I was once one of those kids.
Yeah.
And I made it out. And if I'm able to make it out, I want to be able to, fan the flames of some of these kids' dreams that they too can make it out.
Okay. So I know you, and I know that you don't get many, you don't do many interviews. If you look at it, you look up, Smush Park, you don't see too many interviews that you do. So I'm honored to have you, talking to you about your movement and what you've been up to. But recently, there's been a lot of talks and people bringing up your name and stuff like that. Again, so I wanted to know what's your take. I haven't really seen you lash back out. You've been, on a positive piece, and I wish my brother, I pray for my brother and stuff. But what's your take on that?
I don't do a lot of interviews.
Yeah.
Interviews for some reason, whether positive, always get turned into negative somehow. But I know you.
Yeah.
You my bro. You do. This is for a good cause.
Yes, sir.
You have a positive message, and this is why I decided to come. This is why we teammates.
Yes, sir.
Outside of just basketball,
Yes, sir.
it's one thing to be teammates as a basketball player, but it's another thing to take on somebody's morals, their outlook, their how they go about life, and
Yes,
I
sir.
respect that.
Yes, sir.
That's why I want to be a part of Bowling for Peace and coming together, and some other stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as that other, stuff is concerned, I really think the dude loves me, man. I'm just gonna, yo, he really loves me. I feel like, honestly, he purposely does certain things to keep my name relevant. And I'm appreciative, man. He should. It's a sign of respect. Okay. It's just a sign of respect, man. Because no other name comes out of his mouth. And he says my name, and I find it a sign of respect. So, again, I love my guy. I'm praying for him like you saw my post.
Yes, sir.
I wish him well. I have no ill will, and I truly respect, what he's done for the game.
Yeah.
I've always said you can't deny what he's done in the game of basketball. You can't deny it. And, I'm humbled every time he says my name.
That's what's up.
All right? Yo, but duty calls, man. I gotta bounce.
We're gonna get you back out there. But, let the people know where they can find you. And June 1st, he will be at Bowling for Peace. You know what I mean? So make sure you follow Smush.
Smush Parker Elite.
Smush Parker Elite on Instagram.
On Instagram.
All right, welcome back, real fans, real talk. Again, big shout out to Smush Parker. He's gonna be joining us. Him and H2 is gonna be joining us right here next week when we go live, and we know we're gonna go a little bit further in depth because we ain't get to talk.
We're gonna pick up that convo.
Yeah,
that convo is definitely.
We definitely gonna do that. And Smush is a good cat, man. So shout out to him. Shout out to H2O. Again, make sure you guys get those tickets for Bowling for Peace. It's going down Saturday, June 1st at St. Francis College, not too far from the TV station where we are right now. Real Fans, Real Talk is going to be in the building. The dunk contest is going to be even more lit than last year. Let me just tell y'all what we're putting together for the dunk contest. First of all, we got 8 of the top dunkers in the country coming together. Shout out to last year's champ Maxwell Pierce. You guys, when you cop the next 2K game, you're going to see a little bit of Maxwell Pierce dunking all up in the new 2K because he's out in Cali right now.
Shout out to the homie on that. That's a great look,
man.
Yeah,
man. He's doing it right now.
Very humble dude. Super talented, man. He got a lot of stuff going on and off the court, man.
Happy for him.
Shout out to Max. that, man.
Happy for Maxwell Pierce. Shout out. Y'all know we do the 2K tournament, so that's even crazier that he's out right now working on the dunk packages for the new 2K game. But again, we got the best dunkers in the country coming together. We got some guest judges. We got the family. We got Eric Barkley is gonna come out and be one of the judges. Scoop B is gonna come out. We gonna judge. And then we got Hot Sauce and one mixtape.
Don't get crossed up.
Yeah, don't get crossed up. He still got it. He still got it a little bit. So Hot Sauce is gonna be judging with us. Shout out to Sneaker Bar because they are donating again another gift card for the winner to go over to Sneaker Bar. And and a big shout out to the Rosado firm. They've been holding down Real Fans Real Talk for the past 2 years. Whatever event that we're part of, they step on as sponsors, and they don't even send us the logo or nothing. They just like, listen, we just really want to see the events go well. We know what you're trying to do, so we got a lot of love for those guys over at the Rosado firm. So big shout out to Joe and everybody else at the Rosado firm. And of course, Nels up in the Bronx at Sneaker Ball. They keep your boy fresh, and then whatever new sneakers come out, they keep your boy fresh. So shout out to Nels up at Sneaker Ball. They're gonna join us actually later this month as well as we get closer to Balling for Peace. We're gonna bring the sponsors out and just talk more to them. So we're looking forward to that. And make sure you guys follow us on the web though, because that's the best way to keep in tune with what we got going on. The website is realfansrealtalk.com. That's where you can get all the vlogs, all the blogs, all the exclusive episodes, and that's where you can learn about everybody that's down with us, all the sponsors and everything right there on the website. The facebook.com/Real Fans Real Talk. You can get us up there, like the fan page, send us a comment. Twitter, Instagram @Real Fan Talk, and of course subscribe to the YouTube channel, man.
It's a must.
It's For the Fans Productions. That's all. Just go click that button, subscribe right there. When you get on YouTube, go to youtube.com/For the Fans Productions, and that's it, man. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, man. Right. But let's get back into it. I know we're running a little bit low on time.
Let's get into these topics.
Because we got to go to Twitter Fingers, man. So Twitter Fingers. What's it? 45. I call him 45. I don't call
Clown.
him
Homie the Clown.
Yeah, I don't. We don't really rock like that, but I call him that. But so he took the time to take a shout out and tweet to Nick Bosa, who we spoke about last week, the three of us, and us
right.
and Emerald, about his past, and he's down with MAGA and all of that. So he took the time. He skipped over Kyler Murray, who was the number one pick in the draft. But I guess the young black kid can't get no love in this country.
I mean, not only that,
to Nick Bosa.
So we talked about the connection with some of the suspect tweets from Nick Bosa, but Trump is from San Francisco. He's from out on the West Coast. I thought because it would have made sense if you had commented towards the Giants number 6 pick.
Yeah,
because that's your hometown team, or the Jets number 3 pick. That would have made sense. But for you to go out your way to tweet congratulations to a kid who obviously supports your message and stands by everything you believe, again, further shows your character. He's a clown. He's always been a clown. And right now, at this point, we just count down the days so we don't have to deal with this this joke of a reality TV series / presidency we got to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. And we if you guys saw the clips we posted up, you posted up some of the tweets from Nick Bosa on the IG. Y'all go check out the IG. You can see all of that there. And
in regard, sorry to cut you off. As far as Nick Bosa, our issue ain't with Nick Bosa.
Oh yeah.
We've said that we hope that he learned his lesson and he has a productive career. He has a lot of talent, and we would hate for it to be held back by tweets he made as a teenager and a young man. So we get that. It's the other clowns that want to, jump on the bandwagon and try to, seek out attention through Twitter.
He needed a moment in between rounds of golf and whatever else he doesn't do for the country. He needed a break, and but you know what?
Paying off porn stars, you got to tweet.
Yeah, you got to do that. But at least I got to applaud Virginia because they turned down the visit to the White House. Congratulations again on winning the NCAA championship game, but they definitely declined the visit to the White House.
They're like a short drive from and they said, "Nah, we're good."
And which
we're good. We're good.
What was crazy though was because So Seattle, the WNBA, the champions, they actually went to the White House. But if you look at the picture that's posted up, none of the women look like they want to be there. Like I felt like it was something where it was like, all right, you know what, we just gonna need this publicity for the WNBA no matter what. So could you guys just take the L and kind of just play nice and get your cheeseburgers?
We'll kick you guys an extra
fries,
20 grand.
Yeah, get your fast food and whatnot, and we're gonna move from there. But again, shout out to Virginia, man. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And hey, listen, it's all good. We wait for the next guy.
Right. Give us some time.
Yeah, give us some time. We'll be good. Oh, shout out to CC Sabathia. He's the new Mr. 3000, but not 3,000 hits. Right. 3,000 Ks, 3,000 strikeouts. So big shout out to him. Shout out to the Yankees. They're playing really well right now. And shout out to Steven Strasburg. He just became the youngest pitcher to 1,500. So,
yeah, I mean, he's dealt with a lot of injuries, but he's having a productive career. And again, shout out to CC. There hasn't been anything that CC really hasn't done at this level. Yeah. Individually and within the team concept, and it's great to see the longevity and everything he's done. He's definitely going into the Hall.
That's a fact. Hands down, champion.
Right, absolutely.
Right there. Hopefully we can get one more before he retires this year.
I don't know about that.
Come on, don't do that. Why are you doing that?
I don't know about that.
Why you doing that? They coming for it.
I don't know about that.
They definitely coming for it. But really quick though, because I know we definitely running low on time. But this Saturday is going down.
Right.
Brooklyn representative, family, the real fans, real talk. Danny Jacobs is stepping into the ring against Canelo Alvarez. I'm so looking forward to this fight. I thought that this was a fight that should have happened after the Triple G fight for Danny Jacobs. I felt like he should have won that fight. I thought he had it. A couple other people did too. But he finally gets to fight versus Canelo Alvarez. Is going down. I'm looking forward to it. Shout out to Danny Jacobs, man. Brooklyn. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm looking for that W, man. Bring that home, because he coming back, man. He coming back to Real Fans, Real Talk soon. So I want him to come back with the belts.
It'd be amazing.
With all those belts.
It'd be amazing. He comes up here with the belts. You know what I'm saying? He's a good friend of the shows.
Exactly.
But I will say this, man. For the casual boxing fan, tune in. This one's going to be a really good one. Action-packed fight. Danny Jacobs can pretty much, he can give it up however you want. If you want a stylistic fight, he can do that. If it turns into a brawl, he'll handle his own there. Canelo, obviously, upper echelon fighter. I don't have him viewed as the best fighter in the world, but he's on that list of pound-for-pound fighters. And I agree with you. I thought Danny Jacobs probably fought Triple G better than even Canelo did.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a knockdown early in that fight that it wasn't a massive knockdown. It was kind of like a flash knockdown that kind of came back and bit Danny Jacobs in the butt to lose that fight. And I'm calling it now. I got Danny Jacobs in the upset. I think he will come with the game plan. He can fight southpaw. He can fight orthodox. He can do a lot of different things. He's going to confuse Canelo just enough early in the fight. And as I mentioned, he has no problem standing toe-to-toe and letting the hands go if he has to. And I think that's going to be the difference. His versatility against Canelo, who's very methodical, who likes to take his time and break you down over the course of the fight, I think Danny Jacobs is going to apply a lot of pressure and win this fight.
That's a fact. And really quick, tomorrow night, Bar 7 is going down in Brooklyn. Hit up H2O Music for more info. If you want to get down with the Cypher, man, hit them up. But we got to get up out of here. So for myself, Trip Young, my co-host, Legend in 2 Games.
Get out of here.
We'll see y'all next week, man.
Peace.
Bang.
That went well. I think it went well.
Face facts, what up, what up?
RealFansRealTalk.com, where Arthur Diamonds, Trip Young, and intern Tom. For the white and black fans, Asia to Manhattan. I get all my facts from my bro Mark the Stats Man. If you're not tuned in, I recommend the CAT scan. And if your brain checks out, then you deserve a backhand. Sports, gossip, all the hot topics. RealFansRealTalk.com got it. They got the hottest bloggers.
Is Jeremy Lin hurt?
Well, log onto the site and you can hear it from them first. I'm talking about the latest. I'm talking about the greatest. Go check out the archives. Even tell a neighbor. Tell him Bobby sent ya. From spring to winter, tuning in should be the only thing on your agenda. Certified cosign, you know what I'm about, son. RealFansRealTalk.com. I'm out one. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, real talk. Real fans, realtalk.com. Real fans, realtalk.com.